Well, hello everyone. Thanks very much for joining us again today. My name's Ian Hefele, and I'm an admissions counselor here at SIT Study Abroad in Vermont. And I'm joined by Peter Starkey, our Switzerland International Studies and Multilateral Diplomacy alum. And I'll hand it over to you, Peter, to introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name's Peter Starkey. I went on the International Studies and Multilateral Diplomacy program in Switzerland when I was a junior at George Washington University.
Thanks very much, Peter. So we're just going to jump into the questions that I sent you. Number one here, what is the main reason that you chose your SIT program in Switzerland?
So the main reason I chose SIT in general was because of the experiential field-based model. I really sort of wanted to get out of the classroom and really experience my education. I chose Switzerland because of its location in Geneva. It was surrounded by a lot of the international institutions that I was studying in my international affairs degree. The other reason why I wanted to do it was because of the independent research. I hadn't really gotten a chance to really delve into something that I cared about, and I really wanted to take a semester to do something that I wanted to do, not something that my professors assigned me, not something that my school assigned me, but something that I could do. And then I also wanted something professional. I wanted to be able to go and meet as many people in the field that I was looking to go into as possible. And by being in Geneva, I was able to meet with people from the UN, from the Red Cross, from the WHO, and it really allowed me to see what they were doing and how they got there and how I could potentially be there someday.
That sounds great. Thanks very much for answering so thoroughly. Now, I'm going to ask, what key skills did you gain on your SIT program in Switzerland?
The main skill I think that I got was really my confidence in research. Beforehand at my school, I just felt like I didn't have a lot of confidence when I was researching a particular topic. And when I was at SIT, I found that SIT gave me the tools to really be able to be confident in what I was researching, be able to go out and find the materials, not just online, which is what a lot of students I think do nowadays, but to actually go to institutions that can help me. Interview skills were a huge aspect of that, being able to interview people, become more confident in what I'm studying, and not trying to fit my research to a book, but instead going out and asking the questions I wanted answered. So really tailoring what I wanted to know to what I ended up wanting to write about. And the other aspect is just being with the unknown, flying to a different country, being with a family that I had never met before, and really allowing for my confidence in not knowing everything to come forth, and knowing that I have to get on a train in an hour to wherever I was going, whether it was Paris or Brussels on the excursion, and really being independent in I have to know when to get there. I have to be there. If I don't get there, how am I going to be able to go there? So really being comfortable with the unknown, being comfortable with not knowing where I am, because being in a place that was completely foreign to me really challenged me in growing up in that sense, being able to be independent from my parents, from my school, from someone that told me what I needed to do.
Wow, it sounds like you got quite a few skills there. So now I'm going to ask you if you can name one thing that you learned on SIT that you believe you wouldn't have learned anywhere else.
One thing that I definitely learned while on the SIT program was just how my major and my studies applied to the real world. And I don't think I would have known that if I hadn't experienced it abroad with SIT. I was able to go, as I said before, and visit professionals and talk with professionals, hear lectures from professionals at the UN, at the Red Cross, at the World Health Organization, at the World Trade Organization, and really understand how the things that I was reading about and that I was studying were applied in real life. And I really don't think I would have known how to experience that, how to know how to apply my major to real life until I could actually ask people. And it really gave me the access to be able to learn what I could potentially do and what people are doing in my field.
Nice to hear all that. So to change directions a little bit, can you tell me your favorite aspect of the program in Switzerland?
My favorite aspect, and I think a lot of students say this, was the homestay. Really being able to interact and connect with a Swiss family. I became very close with my host dad, my host mom, and then my host sister. I had meals with them. I went on different family excursions. We went on hikes. We went skiing. Visited different family members, and I really felt like I was a part of the family, which I think is very unique with the homestay model, that instead of going and enrolling in a class, you're actually with a family, and you're with a family that cares about you and wants to learn from you as much as you want to learn from them. And I found that my experience would not have been the same if I was just in a dorm room, if I was sitting in front of a computer at night and just studying. Really being able to bring my studies home to a family and sitting down to a meal and being able to talk with them and understand their culture was my favorite part of the experience.
That sounds really exciting there. Now, as someone who's been on an SIT study abroad program, you do know that our programs tend to be on the smaller side, which allows for a very intimate academic experience, but also it leads to slower word of mouth, and sometimes people don't know who we are. So if you ran into somebody who's never heard about SIT study abroad, how would you describe it?
What I describe it as is taking hold of your education. It really allows you, not only with the experiential field-based model, to expand beyond the four walls of the classroom, but really expand beyond your education. Like I said, there's no longer someone telling you, you need to study this, you need to read this. You're now studying what you want to study. You want to pursue what you want to pursue. And one of the great things is that you take hold of your learning by doing that. And you stop reading about people in books. You stop listening to people who are just telling you what they know, and all of a sudden you're doing the research, you're doing the writing. It's no longer let me read about the expert, it's let me be the expert. Let me study this, and let me be the one who actually is the expert now. And it's no longer reading about someone.
That sounds really good there. Now, my last question for you is, have you pursued continuing studies about your program theme or location now that you've graduated from university and finished your study abroad semesters?
So I continued studying the different things that I did in my independent study project after I returned back to university. But when I graduated, I actually applied to be a part of the SIT study abroad community as an admissions counselor. And right now, I am the admissions counselor for Asia Pacific programs as well as the programs in Europe. So I actually get to cover the program that I studied. So it's really great to be able to talk about my experience to students and be able to really be a part of what I studied, and that's in this education of international affairs, of international development, of the arts, and really applying what I learned to allow students to be able to learn about the world and really what they're interested in, and bring that back to their colleges and teach others.
Thank you very much for taking some time with us today, and I know you've definitely have a busy day here in the admissions office. So before we end though, do you have anything else that you'd like to share in this little interview with prospective students?
If I was to share anything with prospective students, I would say definitely get in touch with an admissions counselor, get in touch with the admissions office. You can talk with me, who's been on one of these programs, but all of the admissions counselors in the office are very passionate about their work, and they want to talk with you. They want to talk with you over the phone, over email, and get to know you. And by doing that, you're jumping into the world of study abroad, which is really an amazing experience that myself and I think anyone that's ever studied abroad will tell you is a life-changing experience that you'll never be able to have anywhere else.
Thanks for ending on such a passionate note there, Peter.
Thank you, Ian.
Okay, well, have a good rest of your day, and thanks again for taking some time.
No problem.